What's going on, everybody? My name is Gerald Moore Jr. I am the founder of Ohio Cannabis Reports, and I'm coming to you with some Ohio cannabis news, some updates of what's been going on. If you haven't been following, we legalized medical cannabis in 2016. And so in our state, we've had a medical program for the last, almost 8 years. And so that program most people didn't get their medication until I think about 2019, I think when the first actual sales happened. And so, again, it's taken some time to get the program up and running. Now we recently legalized adult use in Ohio. So now we have a medical program. And by law, we have an adult use program, but it hasn't been enacted yet. And so the laws and regulations and things are still being figured out about how to go about the legal with dispensaries, cultivators, and things like that. With the new adult use program, though, there is home grow, so folks can home grow and do their own grows, which is an important part of the Ohio industry. And so, what I'm going to do is one, thank you guys for following the page. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on Instagram at Ohio Cannabis Report. You can also follow us on Twitter and just lock in with us. We're going to do a lot more events. We also love to promote local events. So if you have any type of cannabis themed events, whether it's a comedy show, whether it's an expo, some type of educational event, we always love to collaborate and promote local events and local products and services. So if you are a consultant or if you have a brand or a business in the cannabis space, if you have an event space, we would love to collaborate, partner, and somehow work out partnership opportunities to expand the industry in Ohio and just expand the footprint. So, shout out to all the advocates, all the activists that have been on the ground floor, putting their life on the line for moving the cannabis industry forward. We see you, we recognize you. Shout out to all the women in the industry. Shout out to all the melanated folks, all the indigenous folks who are doing the work, all of the bud tenders, all the cultivators, processors, really the workers, the people that are really on the ground floor, all the cannabis patients as well, people that use cannabis, whether they've used it recreational or medicinally. I want to send this love out to you, man, because it's been a long time coming. So here it is. I want to share some, I'm going to share my screen and just share some recent news in the we'll do some headlines in the cannabis space here in Ohio real quick. Um, so here we are. So we'll do, so Ohio Cannabis School becomes the first to get academic accreditation in the U.S. So shout out to the crew over at the Cleveland School of Cannabis. Ohio Cannabis School becomes first to get academic accreditation in U.S. Independence, Ohio. An Ohio school with the exclusive focus on coursework for the marijuana industry has become the first of its kind to receive academic accreditation. The Cleveland School of Cannabis received its accreditation status from the Middle States Association Commission on Elementary and Secondary Schools. Kevin Green, vice president for the school, called it the highest level of education accreditation that there is. He explained his team went through an intensive process that lasted nearly 3 years to earn a unanimous yes vote from MSA's board. You actually get audited in person, Green said. There's an audit team that comes out and visits the campus. They spend 3 days on campus. They interview all staff. They interview students. And then from those interviews and their assessments from on campus, they then make a determination of your status of accreditation. So that's a major win for them. We've had Kevin Green on our platform a few years ago. I actually hosted an event called Ohio Black and Cannabis, and so I had Kevin Green on. They've hosted great events, and I know a few people who graduated from the Cleveland School of Cannabis, so it's a great opportunity. If you're looking to get educated in the cannabis space, horticulture, they also do a executive business program as well. So shout out to them. Recreational marijuana in Ohio process for licensing businesses expected to start in June. So this is Channel 9 in Cincinnati. The Ohio Division of Cannabis Control is expecting to begin its recreational marijuana licensing process in early June, a critical step towards the state's first legal recreational sales, which is expected not long after the state grants its first recreational license in early September. The first batch of applications will go to each existing medical marijuana licensee beginning June 7th, according to the Department of Commerce spokesperson Jamie Crawford. In the initial rules proposed by the Ohio Division of Cannabis Control, which are subject to various levels of review before they are finalized. From there, the division will field applications from entities new to Ohio marijuana's trade, uh, which are hoping to secure the 40 recreational cultivator licenses and 50 dispensary licenses. Crawford noted that the division is looking to begin awarding provisional licenses for non-medical cannabis facilities by September 7th and told Journal News that recreational marijuana sales cannot legally occur until the licenses are issued and the respective facilities are certified by the division. This timeline follows the directives of the yet to be altered Issue 2 statute that went into effect on December 7th. However, it's ultimately a timeline that Governor Mike DeWine and the Department of Commerce have been displeased with, given the disconnect between marijuana being legal to possess in Ohio with no legal way to procure it. As Crawford noted, the official position of the DeWine administration and the Department of Commerce is that the General Assembly should amend the initiated statute to allow legal sales sooner at medical dispensaries. And a piece of legislation to do just that has been collecting dust in the Ohio House for months now. The House has been happy to let the legislation lie, given that it also would have raised taxes on sales, further limiting home grow allowances, and weaken the maximum potency of THC concentrates, among other things. House leadership has suggested that it would only move forward with its own solution, which was promised to stay truer to the Ohio's past in November, but any public evidence of that bill progressing past negotiations is scant. Hints have emerged from both sides of the lower chamber aisles that it might forego any changes to issue 2 at all. According to Pat Melton, spokesperson for Ohio's House Speaker Jason Stevens, Republican Kits Hills, the GOP leader has been pleased with the rulemaking process so far and would like to see how the division's proposed rules shake out after review from the Joint Committee on Agency Rule Review. So there you go. Make sure you guys are constantly reaching out to your state representatives, letting them know that, hey, we want to keep issue 2 the way it is. And we also want them to expedite sales for recreational use. Because I recently went up to Michigan and you get off on the Monroe exit. One, you start seeing billboards as soon as you cross into Michigan. But then 2, as soon as you get off in the Monroe exit, which is about 2 miles away, there's a cannabis facility. There's 5, 10 cannabis facilities right there. So, when I just went up to Michigan, everybody in the parking lots had Ohio tags. You know what I mean? So people are still going across the border to get their cannabis. Not everybody can grow their own or wants to grow their own. So people are going to go across the border to get it. I'm not going to be mad at them. So the legacy market is still thriving. GOP bickers over legal marijuana program in Ohio as Cleveland Cannabis School becomes first in the nation. Rules for Ohio pending adult use program moving quickly. So this is State House Bureau. So administrative rulemaking for the state's pending recreational marijuana program is moving full steam ahead. One industry trade association says with sales likely to start by the third quarter of the year. Cannabis possession, use, and home grow went legal for Ohioans who are 21 and older at the end of 2023, with voters approved of issue 2, but sales to those adult use non-medical customers is not yet legal. The Ohio Department of Commerce is hammering out the program through its recent formed Division of Cannabis Control. They have been moving very, very quickly to get a rule package in place and finalized to meet, or it would be not surprised, or it would not surprise me to beat the timeline outlined in issue 2, said Tom Herron, a spokesperson for trade association, the Ohio Cannabis Coalition. Herron also led the coalition to regulate marijuana like alcohol, which has been behind issue 2. Since February, the division has submitted tranches of draft regulation for consideration. He said some are scheduled for hearing in front of the Joint Committee on Agency Rule Review next month. The current plan, Herron said, is for licensure applications to go live in June. The first round of applications reserved for existing medical dispensaries seeking dual licensure, with social equity applications and new applications to follow. We've seen in other states they follow the same model because you don't have to start back from square one, Herron said in Thursday's interview. First round licenses are on track to go out by issue 2 deadline earlier than September, but possibly sooner, he said. Ohio legalized medical marijuana nearly 8 years ago, and the medical program isn't going away. Product-wise, everything sold through the program can be sold for recreational use, but new offerings will likely hit the shelves that would not have been available for medical only users, Herron said. For instance, products that can be smoked. Under the medical program, combustion of marijuana flower is prohibited, and the adult use program, combustion is allowed, Herron said. For instance, a medical patient could buy a pre-roll under the medical program couldn't buy a pre-roll under the medical program unless they were 21 and bought it as an adult use product and they paid a 10% tax. Potential legislative changes. If lawmakers still want to have some say in the program, from the revenue tax structure to other provisions, the window for legislative change prior to sales kicking off is closing. Last December, about 6 hours before issue 2 became law, as is, a bill to change adult use cannabis laws cleared the Ohio Senate 28-2. One major change was to limit home growers to 6 plants per household instead of 12. But the Ohio House didn't move that proposal or its own version then. Negotiations across the chamber seemingly broke down, and since little movement has been seen. We have had a lot of discussion in the House. House Speaker Jason Stevens, Republican Kid Hills, told reporters in February, our priority right now is having those thorough discussions. As you know, there's a long runway for the issue, so we still have some time to do that. Lawmakers are largely back in Columbus starting Tuesday, with floor sessions scheduled in both chambers for the following Wednesday. More information about status of the state recreational program can be found here. So this is the website. You go to the Department of Commerce. So anybody out there following along, you guys can go right here and see what they've been doing, what they're talking about. You can contact them right here in the contact us. You also, what I like to go to find out information is they usually have a facts tab. Here's the new newsletter. So typically come here, but they haven't really updated a lot. But yeah. So yeah, let us know in the comments. Make sure if you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment. Let us know if you're in Ohio, what part of Ohio are you in? What county? What city? What do you like? If you're a medical cannabis user, what do you like about the medical program? What don't you like about the medical program? Let us know your favorite cultivators. What are your favorite products in the program? What are your favorite dispensaries to go to? Who's your favorite bud tender? Who's your favorite? What's your favorite strand? What's your favorite terpene? We really want to build a community. So we really want input from you all. So let me know if you're a recreational user. Again, what's your favorite strand? What do you like? What's your favorite terpene? What's your favorite way of consumption? Are you an edibles type of person? Do you like to combust? Do you like vape pens, edibles? I think I said edibles already, but do you like the tinctures? Do you like the topicals? Let us know. Let's see. How are future dual use dispensaries preparing for recreational use? So 11 days ago, crucial process towards first legal recreational sale marijuana in Ohio to begin soon. Ohio Cannabis Regulators prioritize protecting minors from targeted ads. So Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio is rapidly approaching the launch of recreational marijuana sales with a potential fall target date. Jim Canepa, superintendent of the Division of Cannabis Control, is laser focused on establishing regulations, particularly regarding advertising. There's zero tolerance on the liquor side when I had that role, and there will be zero tolerance on this side, Canepa stated, emphasizing the importance of preventing marijuana advertisements from reaching minors. Key concerns include packaging resembling candy in cartoon characters and marketing materials, advertising with Santa Claus or cartoons appealing to children. It's a very bright line in the sand. It's prohibited, Canepa explained. 19 News reporter Gabby Hart questioned Canepa on enforcing strategies. The competitors rat each other out, Canepa revealed, because they're following the rules. Others aren't. It's not a level playing field. The consequences are severe. You face termination of your permit privileges straight up. The Division of Cannabis Control anticipates issuing the first wave of recreational marijuana licenses by September 2024. Licensed dispensaries will then determine their individual launch dates. This story is part of the Cleveland 19's ongoing Breaking Down the Bud series. Get with the program, Northeast Ohio Cannabis Education Efforts, prepare region for adult use market. So Shamika Beach, Shamika Beach learned the therapeutic benefits of cannabis as a teenager when her mother used the drug to relieve agonizing muscle spasms that literally left her screaming. Beach said her mom's reprieve from pain showed her that marijuana was far more than a party drug. I saw how it helped her. It helped so much that she ended up not having muscle spasms anymore, Beach said. That's when I saw the beneficial effects of the plant and how it could help people. Further study into holistic remedies and herbalism, combined with ongoing adult use activism in Ohio, spurred Beach to learn the business side of cannabis at the Cleveland School of Cannabis and Independence, an accredited career institution for marijuana employees. At first, I was like, I don't know. The West Coast has been in the industry longer, so maybe I should go there, said Beach. But CSC had mock dispensaries and mock grow rooms. It was a world much bigger than what I even realized when I came to cannabis. With the passage of issue 2, Ohio will need scores of people like Beach to fill jobs in the industry. Marijuana is an explosive job creator in other states, from areas like cultivation to patient consultants, said CSC Education Director Nicole Phoenix. We have 132 dispensaries in the medical cannabis arena, and that's going to double with adult use because most companies will apply for dual licensing. Companies that add recreational licenses to their existing medical certification will double Ohio's cannabis workforce, CSC billed as the only certified cannabis education institution in the Midwest, offers science classes on the medical applications of cannabis, along with a marketing curriculum that teaches the finer points of product branding. Employees go to a dispensary and hold what's called an education day said Phoenix, whose school has been preparing students for the job force since 2017. They know your products or what creates that niche, and they're educating the consumer that comes into the dispensary. That's been an interesting thing to watch in the last 3 or 4 years. When she graduates with accreditation from CSC in June, Beach hopes to join the medical dispensary as a bud tender and in industry nomenclature, a person who assists customers in purchasing cannabis products. I want to learn from the bottom up because I think people are more effective at the top if they know what the bottom is like. It'll save lives. 50 Ohio businesses to receive licenses to sell recreational marijuana. A report on News 77 at 5 for you smoke shop co-owner Billy Joe uh, Andres explains that what the process means. I think it'll save lives for real. Uh, he is happy that the Department of Commerce is taking its time to regulate recreational marijuana. Are you getting it from a licensed facility, or are you getting it from some Joe Smo down the street because they gave you a deal? Anything could be laced, and you never know what they can be bringing to their shops. That's wild right here. Ohio man arrested after officials find a loaded syringe, burnt marijuana, and 34 grams of meth. What was his name? Monroe County Sheriff. They don't ever put their names in this joint. Officials on the scene said they saw a small piece of foil located on the driver's seat once Kendall exited the vehicle. Deputies say Kendall gave consent to search the vehicle during the well. Oh yeah, this was a story. Legalization of marijuana in Ohio could force hundreds of police K-9s into early retirement. As the state begins to roll out recreational marijuana, nearly 400 police K-9s across Ohio trained to detect pot could soon face an early retirement. A local police department doesn't want to retire these highly trained dogs, and it's placing them inside a local high school to continue to serve. Once the handlers come online, it can be anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks of class day and 1 day out to get the dog certified. Craig is the sole canine officer for the Miami Township Police Department. He works with 3 different canines, including two drug detection dogs, Gator and Seeker. And newest of the group is a 1-year-old Seeker. He is certified in heroin, cocaine, meth, and extracts. Pencilman said that after voters approved the measure to legalize recreational marijuana in Ohio, the department made the decision not to train Seeker to detect the smell of marijuana. We were trying to be more proactive with it, but that created challenges for 12-year-old Gator who's trained to find marijuana. Hinzelman said that it's tough to retrain a dog. There's ways of trying to do it, but ultimately, we've trained the dog to search for marijuana, so it's really hard. Strongsville Council members to consider ban on recreational marijuana business. So an ordinance going before Strongsville City Council members at their Monday, March 18th meeting will prohibit adult use marijuana businesses from operating in the city. The measure bans adult use cannabis cultivators, processors, and dispensaries, and also establishes misdemeanor penalties for businesses caught in violation. The city's planning commission signed off on the legislation in January, and it's since had 3 public hearings. It's now due to the public hearing on Monday, March 18th. Mike, City Council Chamber, Inside the Strongsville Police Department, 18688 Royalton Road, committee caucuses on proposed ordinance between 6:45 p.m. The state citizen initiated statute legalized adult use cannabis passed November and as issue two. Lets local governments decide whether to ban establishments of new cannabis operators within their borders, but it doesn't allow them to oust existing operators. There are currently no cannabis operators in Strongsville, according to Ohio Medical Marijuana Control Program, but there are more than 100 dispensaries across Ohio, including 33 in Northeast Ohio. So yeah, there's a lot of movement going on. Again, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I think I'm gonna log off here. It's been about 30 minutes, so please make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Again, let us know what part of the state you're in, what county, what city. Do y'all have adult use? Do y'all have any dispensaries? If you work in the industry, let us know what you do. Let us also know what you like about cannabis. What do you like about the industry, the current state of the industry? What would you like to see change? So, also, if you like this comment, just let us know you like the content, and let us know you want to see more of it. Again, I want to thank you guys for supporting. If you guys want to support monetarily, you can support via my Cash App, which is G13 Ventures. Again, that's G13 Ventures, and I run these all by myself. So, sometimes it takes a lot of work to upload, edit, go through all the stop sharing my page, uh, go through all this content. But if you guys feel led to share and support, um, here's my code right here. You guys can see. Let me take that. All right, there we go. So if you want to support the channel, if you want to support Ohio Cannabis Report, you can just cash at me, G13 Ventures. That's $ G13 Ventures. And that goes directly to me. And it just helps, to support, because I do this out the kindness of my heart, just to inform the community, help inform myself, but also for people to know that cannabis, the industry of cannabis is more than just smoking weed, right? It's more than just growing cannabis. The ancillary markets. I'm getting ready to, but the ancillary markets are big. So when it talks about media, you talk about education, you talk about the things that you need to consume cannabis. There's a lot of ways to get involved in the cannabis industry without being on the plant touching side or being on the consumption side. And so for me, I understood that it'd be harder for me to actually get the funding for a cultivator or dispensary to have to go through all the legal hoops and the money and stuff like that. Because who has just millions of dollars in cash to apply for something like this? Not me. And so I figured being in the ancillary market and talking about it was necessary in creating platforms. So I created at Ohio Cannabis Report, bought the domain name, and also started something called Athletes in Cannabis. So those are ways for me to get involved in the cannabis industry without having to touch plants, without having to have huge overhead. I don't have employees and things like that. So eventually, I do want to grow bigger. Eventually, I do want to have a bigger establishment. But again, that just comes with time and putting the energy out there. So again, if you want to support G13 Ventures on Cash App, I greatly appreciate whatever you guys send, $1, $5, $10, $100. Help your boy out. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Ohio Cannabis Report. Peace, love, and blessings, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.